Initially, I thought that Gabby on a Rooftop in July was going to be yet another indie flick about 20 somethings doing absolutely nothing with their time in New York over the summer. And although it was some of that, it was done in a way where it was completely engaging for me, and I did thoroughly enjoy it, I have to admit. Gabby is a 20-year-old using the summer to visit her older brother Sam, who's a painter in New York. And they're kind of immediately established, not as foils perhaps, but definitely seeking out different things in the art world. Gabby is a very willful, free-spirited performance artist with cream, etc., etc. And her older brother Sam, who she respects, kind of wants opposite things, is trying to climb in the gallery world. And there's a conversation between Sam, Gabby, and one of Sam's friends who works in a gallery in the beginning where it's obvious, like, Gabby wants nothing to do with that and says, art should be an approach to life. It shouldn't be hung on gallery walls. And Sam's like, well, she's misguided, and kind of brushes her off. And that's a good way to establish like how the film is going to develop, because I don't think Sam intentionally means to brush Gabby off as he does, but he is so, immersed in all these relationships and things he has to deal with, being kind of like, on the brink of a successful painter, unsuccessful, trying to afford to live in New York, being in a committed relationship. He has all these things that are making him careless with Gabby. So Gabby does her own thing throughout the whole film. Until the end, where they kind of are brought back to each other by their soiled relationships that they develop with other people throughout the film. What I mean by that is that Sam is kind of like at the end of like this engagement with Madeline, who is a very committed, loving girlfriend, and he has been unfaithful to her and gone back to a former lover. So that relationship has ended by that kind of like towards the end of the movie. And while he's doing all this, while he's dealing with all this, his younger sister, Gabby, is kind of getting involved with his freeloading friend Garrett. And she presents herself as being this sexually promiscuous, experienced woman, and she's not. She decides to lose her virginity to Garrett. And I think that, after making that decision, it becomes overwhelming to her. And I think that's where they find each other again at the end, when they're at the end of these two relationships. And that brotherly, sisterly bond is kind of like needed in a way. And they find each other and they kill her hamster with carbon monoxide. And it's a good thing too, because that is the one criticism I have of the film. I really did not like the establishing shots. I hated the jump cuts in the beginning that they kind of addressed. I just didn't like how Gabby was being introduced immediately as like this naive, like, this naive girl, still with her little pet hamster, kind of like wheeling it around with a Go-Go's t-shirt on, lost, not having her older brother to pick her up. I thought that was a little too much. Maybe it was just me. And then these two characters at the dinner party are introduced, but they're not essential to the plot later on, so I don't understand why that scene was included when, I don't know, those two weren't important. I didn't think it was necessary. And the jump cuts were confusing, I think. Like, just like how the most morally sound character in the movie is kind of like thrown into a bathtub drunk in the beginning, but alas, it is addressed in the Q&A, which is why the Q&A was important to me. They said that they kind of just wanted to throw you right into the film, and yeah, that may be kind of a lame excuse, but at least they knew that